Hi everyone, our journal page, and we are beginning from the end. I've posted this page on Facebook, and some of you wanted me to do a tutorial, so that's what I'm doing. It's very easy and very quick page. That's what I'm doing when I have a little time for doing some art. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to do it on this page. I'm not interested in having the same page in the art journal, so I'm just going to do it on this, and probably will send it to someone as a happy mail. So I have here some dark purple, some green and turquoise, and it really doesn't matter the shade, just play with it and do whatever, use whatever you have. I'm going to start with this large and soft brush. It's practically for makeup, but I love using it for this, and I'm dipping it into water. The paint needs to be a little bit watery at the start. So I'm dipping into the purple, and I'm just putting it on my page like this. Don't care. Just laying it down. Dipping again into the water, going into this green. Not cleaning. Just putting down some paint. Like so. And I'm just dipping again into the water, and now I'm going into the turquoise. As you can see, my brush is not clean. I have still got from the purple and also from the green. Don't care, that's the whole point. So I've got coverage. Now I'm taking another brush, again makeup brush, because they are soft and I really like to use them. You can also use for this technique these brushes that some time ago men used to shave with, so that's another way to go about it. So I've got this, and it's completely dry. What I'm going to do now is just go over like this and mix everything. Now if I don't like what I have, I will just go over again and add more paint until I'm satisfied with my background. As you can see, I keep mixing until I'm satisfied, and if I don't like it, I will dip the brush into the paint that I still have here, and again go over until I like what I see. Otherwise, there are no rules to it, and if I feel that I have too much brush strokes on my page and it's not blending, then I will switch to another brush that is dry and just continue doing this until I don't have wet paint anymore. I can do it like this. Now this is taking, as you can see, part of the paint from my page, but I'm still working it in until your paint is soaked into your page. And if I don't like it, just add more paint. And as I said, until you're satisfied. If you like this look, then you go with this look. If you want it without the brush strokes, then you go without brush strokes and you just add more paint and less water. Depends how you want to see your page. Like so. I'm still working it. Now you see it's really green because I don't have water on my brush. So it's really up to you and how you want to play with the colors. And you, of course, you can introduce another color if you don't like something, but this is it. That's the background, and I'm just going to add a little bit of the turquoise on top. The point of using the soft brush is that the brush strokes won't be as harsh as with a hard bristle brush. So still I'm picking very little on my brush and still working it until I like what I see. Now, of course, this needs to be completely dry before I'm doing anything on top of it. So I'll be back. And I'm back. The background is dry, and now I want to add interest, and I've picked this stencil. Now you don't have to have this stencil, it's so easy to do it without this stencil. And I've used this acrylic pens. These two are Posca pens, and this is gold from the cheap store. And again, you don't even have to have acrylic pens. Now, markers, whatever. And I'm going to show you what I've done, and I will show you how to do it if just with acrylic paint. And so I just went and played with it, just randomly putting down this stencil all over my page. And of course this takes time. Now I haven't stenciled it with a makeup sponge and acrylic paint because I've got a dark background, and for it to be noticeable on the dark background I would have needed to first stencil with gesso and only then go in with yellow. So that's why I haven't done that. And I just picked each time whatever circle I wanted, whatever size of dots I wanted. Now the other way to go about it, if you don't have Posca pens and whatever, is just to take any circular round object, like all kinds of lids, and you just go around them. If it's with the markers, or you can take some acrylic paint, like I've put here some yellow. I can use a Q-tip to make the dots. I can use a stylus to make the dots. I can use the back of a pencil that has this kind of eraser. So lots of ways to go about it. You just dip and start going over. Now if it's difficult for you, you can mark it gently with some pencil that later on you will just take out. So I can just go around and do some dots. So it's really easy, and the main thing is just to play and put it randomly on your page. I need to see what I'm doing here. Lifting, and here we go. Don't need a stencil, don't need fancy markers. So I'm going to continue doing this all over the page again randomly, and when I'm done I will come back. Okay, so I finished doing some dots and circles. As you can see, quite random. Just put them wherever I thought it should be. Now you don't have to do dots or stenciling. You can use whatever element you think would be nice in your background, whatever you like. That's what I've done. So I'm taking this aside. I'm going to now do the leaves that are going to be on the page. I just picked this is the same paper I've used for these leaves. It just, I had some yellow and I think some burnt umber watercolor on it. That's it. Pick any kind of painty paper you like, and the only thing I've done is, first of all, I flipped it over and started doing some leaves, and I didn't even try to make them the same, just drew them how they however they may turn out. Whatever. If you don't like doing something like this, then you can always take some paper, whatever paper, and do some just fold it, make the shape, now cut it, and now you can repeat it as many times as you wish. So that's how you do a leaf. But as I said, I've done it freehand, not caring. And the point of flipping this painty paper over is that whatever comes. It really doesn't matter. The thing is to play with it. Of course, I can do a smaller one, bigger ones, whatever I want. Now, I've got this. Now I'm only going to cut them. I'm using nail scissors. It's easier to cut something curvy with them. I'm just using the curve of the scissors to my advantage. I'm not even careful about being in line. It really doesn't matter. It's just so I will have some guidance. So I'm starting to have some leaves here, and the only thing that I've done is I wanted to add some interest to them. So I've got some splotches of color, but it wasn't enough for me. There is several ways to go about it. I applied some watercolor, but you don't have to use watercolor. Let's just use this red that I've done the dots, and I'm taking some brush, and I'm going to add quite a lot of water to it, so it would almost react as a watercolor. And what I've done is just added a little bit like so, more water just to blend it into the rest. And of course you apply as much as you want or as little as you want, like so. And it needs of course to dry, but basically this is it. Putting it like this, a little bit more water on the brush just so I can spread it and blend it into the rest. Otherwise nothing to it. And when it's done, I've just added a little bit more detail to each one with a red permanent marker, and I will show you when it's dry. Right now I can't work on it, but I'm going to just let this dry and then I'll come back. I'm back. So I got my leaves, and now I'm just going to doodle on them with this permanent red marker. This is the cheapest one there is for writing on CDs. Who writes on CDs? I don't know. Don't care. These are great markers. They have a double side tip, so that's what I'm using. It's from the cheap store. And now I'm just going like this some line here in the middle and just adding some lines like this. Now of course, if you don't like it, do whatever doodling you like. You can go really stuff like this. You can do more of circles. Just have fun with it. So that's what I've done with my leaves. Just added this kind of detail, nothing to it. And the next thing is just placing them. Let's put it here on. Next thing is just placing them and seeing where you like each one. I will add the lines to the other ones. I just want to show you how I'm playing with all this. Of course, you can, if you're having trouble visualizing whatever is going on your page, there are two ways to go about it. Either pick some chalk and do some lines. Let's see if I have one here, because this can be I can do a line like this, and on acrylic paint I can just go over and wipe it. Or you can take another page with some transparency, like tracing paper, or even the ones for cookies like this, and plan whatever you want to do, and then plan, just put it on your paper as you want it. So once again, I'm just playing, and when I have all this placed where I want it, then I will go on and take this gold acrylic marker and do some stems. So I'll be back. Okay, so everything is in place. As you can see, I have the chalk marks to show me where to go, and I've got my gold acrylic marker, and I'm just going to go around each leaf like so and draw the stem. This is it. That's the whole page. Very easy and quite quick, although the dots took, I think, the most time. But you can always stencil them if you don't want to do whatever I've done. Now, when you are using acrylic markers, be sure, if you are, at least when you are right-handed, to work from left to right. Otherwise, your hand will go into the paint, and it takes a few seconds until it settles. So just be sure to watch where you put your hand. And let's see. Let's do now this one. I'm being careful because I just didn't done this stem, so I'm trying to really be careful. And if I want to make my lines more noticeable, I can always go over and thicken them. Really up to you what you like. I think I will leave this page as is. Of course, I'm going to just wipe all the chalk marks I have. A baby wipe here, and gently I'm just going over it. I think I got everything. Yeah. And I have a little bit of a misshape here, so I'm just going over like so. This is it. That's my page. I hope you liked it. I hope you will attempt to do something like this and have fun with it. So thank you for watching, and thank you for leaving me comments down below. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.